want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Are you ready?
Welcome. How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing night. And guess what? And I know, welcome in K Cooper, welcome in Roxy, welcome in Just Amp. I'm going to say it. I know this is like probably one of the favorite days of the week for K Cooper. The favorite times, because that means tomorrow is Friday and it's time to relax for the weekend. So I am so happy to have you guys here with me. Yakar, what's good? I'm going to say this, right? The reason that I had a totally different stream planned. I had it scheduled and everything, and then Yakar sent me something, and I was like, we might have to pivot. We might have to try this thing out. Something called AWS App Studio. We're going to figure it out as we go along. But welcome to the show. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Tonight is Thursday, July 11th, 2024. We are in the house. We are in the building. So we're going to get going. You guys know how we do. I'm going to get us kicked off with our housekeeping, and then I'm going to jump into the chat. And then we are going to get to work. A lot of topics tonight. I'm going to be talking about return to office and IBM. I saw it on Ferris's stream yesterday, and it had me thinking. I'm like, I want to talk about this a little bit, all right? So let's get into the show. Why don't we? So let's go to our housekeeping. You know how we always like to do. We like to show gratitude and thanks to everyone, to all the subscribers, everyone who's here in the chat, those who watch from the clouds, those who participate, all of that good stuff. So I just want to say a big thank you to you all. You're just so appreciated for all the love and support and the ideas that we get and how to help each other level up all the time. So thank you to you all.
I appreciate you.
And I want to say a big shout out to the tech savages. That ranges from the tech barbarians to the tech prodigy, to the technical explorers, to the tech mercenaries. That's the YouTube members, as well as the shout out to the bag chasers. As always, we support each other, and we know we're all bag chasers. So with that being said, if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor, like the video. Don't forget, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live and drop new content. There's gonna be some things that I have some things in the pipeline, all right? That it's in the CI. I have some things speaking about CI/CD pipelines. Yesterday, continuous integration, continuous deployment. I have some things in my CI/CD pipeline that we are working on. We're going to you're going to see, it's going to be very, very agile. Stick around, mess around, and find out. All right. So we're going to have so much fun here. Next up, if you haven't done so already, if you need one-on-one coaching from me, if you need exclusive content, how I update my resume, how I prepare for interviews, how I research jobs, go to to techcoachralph.dev, sign up for the Patreon. So much good stuff in there, right? So, and we can message back and forth in the Patreon, all that good stuff. I respond to all Patreon messages, and we help each other win. We help each other be successful. That is the goal, all right? So, shout out to you all. Next up, let's jump into our live show schedule. So Sunday afternoons, we have software explorations. We're working our way through Terraform. Infrastructure is code. And here's the cool thing. Those who either join coaching or they join the Patreon and they're like, what kind of project could I do if I'm interested in like learning, cloud engineering, cloud security, stuff like that. Maybe not necessarily cloud security, but being based off the work that I've done with Terraform, I'm like, hey, I have a project that you can go do. You go figure this out. You focus on these load balancers and stuff like that. I'm not going to give too much information. And then we can analyze it. We can investigate it. As a cloud engineer, how do you optimize your costs so you don't cost your company too much money? So based off the work that I do on Terraform, on AWS, I get new ideas. And I say, all right, the same thing that I just did on AWS, I want you to go do it on Microsoft Azure. Always helping each other get new ideas, right? So that's what we do here, right? We have our morning shows, Mondays and Wednesdays, 6:45 a.m. on the East Coast. Don't ask your car what time he wakes up, all right? Don't ask Kay Cooper what time she wakes up, all right? Because I know they're Central and Pacific time zone. It's crazy out there. But I get started at 6:40. That's my warm-up. That is my technical workout in the mornings, Mondays and Wednesdays. I get it in. We lift weights for our mind so that we can get the day started right. All right. So that's coffee and kata, 6:45. I'm still working on the 6:45 part. I don't know if that's going to be forever, right? But 6:45 for this week and next week and whatever. We'll figure that out. Tuesday nights, our Q&A night. We have so much fun. We had so much fun this past Tuesday night. Come and join us. Ask a question. Call in. Listen to the questions that I find, and we have a grand old time. Thursday nights, we have software explorations. That's tonight. So we're going to be last 2 weeks ago on our last Thursday night, we did. I worked through some sprint work that I'm working with my tech barbarians. Tonight, like I said, we're going to be working on AWS App Studio. So we're going to break that down, figure out what that is, because today was the first day I heard of it. I barely read the article that your car sent me, and I said, you know what, we got to try this out. We have to try this out because, here we love AI. We love building apps, and we're going to see what we can do. All right. What can we do with it? All right. So the last show of the week, my favorite show of the week, we have the Men Lie, Woman Lie, Numbers Manipulate. That is where we break down the weekly economic numbers so that we can see how much of a revision they get. Because it's always a revision, right? They told us that there was 272,000 jobs added in June, just to find out it was actually about 200,000, which, and the unemployment rate did go up from 4% to 4.1% or something like that. So it's hard out. It is hard out here, right? So that's what we do on Saturday morning. So much fun, 9:15 a.m. Come along and join us. I'm hosting the show. We got Yakar and Mitch in the chat helping me out to understand all this craziness, all this foolishness that is happening, but very, very important, all right? So, and lastly, we have our pre-recorded content. Mondays, Candid Conversations. I shared what I believe my number one, I shared my number one tip for being successful in corporate, especially in tech corporate. I can't really speak about some other corporate situations, but tech corporate, that's my number one tip because that's my bread and butter, right? Wednesdays, we have software explorations. This past Wednesday, we spoke about the CI/CD pipeline, broke that down, make it easy to understand, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Very, very important if you are in tech or looking to be in tech, all right? And then we have Fridays, the Bug Bite. This coming Friday, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about an AWS S3 storage debacle on how it ballooned an empty S3 bucket ballooned the cost of a person. All right. So come and check that out. And throughout the week, we have additional content. I'm going to be getting a lot more additional content coming out throughout the week, different clips from the live streams, the breaks times, the working sessions. We're gonna figure it out. But I have a lot of things being planned, stuff happening with the office, all some cool stuff with the studio, all some cool stuff happening, right? So Stay around and you're going to see how we do amazing, amazing things over here. All right, so that is our housekeeping, our gratitudes, our show schedules, all of that good stuff. I am going to check the chat to say hi to all of my friends here, right? So we got, starting off, Yakar says, salute to you as well. And Yakar says, hold on, we are watching the speech. Well, Yakar, good luck. Hopefully you can make sense of what you are hearing because, and that is your speech for tonight. All right, see? And you probably understood that a lot better than what you're hearing. I'm just saying. I'm not taking any shots. Not taking any shots, right? And we got my guy, Just Amp, in the building. Says, hope all is well. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. And keep up the work that you're doing as well. And we got the lovely Roxy in the building. Says, hey, y'all. Hey to you as well, Roxy. And we got Kay Cooper, the lovely Kay Cooper says, hey, Tech Coach Ralph and chat. Hey to you as well, Kay Cooper. All right. Let's see where else we're at. And just F says, I love the intro. I appreciate it. Let's see. You watching a zombie? Too funny. Your car says salute to everyone. All right. Let's see. And of course, see, thank you so much, Kay Cooper. Kay Cooper says, hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. And says, Central is crazy. I'm up at 5. It says 3 a.m. Ralph and AD. I apologize. And it says, where is Mitch? You know how Mitch likes to make entrance. You know how you're gonna see he's gonna be here soon. See there you go. Like I said, says MITCH, the voice of the people. Yep, the voice of the people is here. Happy. I'm so happy. And we gotta, come on, man. But it sounds like Ralph. All I hear is gibberish when he talks. Yeah, hilarious. You're saying it's just hilarious. I got my wife listening to your content. That is awesome. I really appreciate it. And we got Tola in the building. Says, keep up the amazing work. I appreciate you guys. How you doing tonight? All right. So the first thing I wanted to check out tonight before we get into, did I close it? Hold on. Give me 1 second to pull it back up. Let's see. For those who are familiar with Agile, and you're working on in either like Kanban or you're working in Scrum, you have probably heard of the term spike. What is a spike, right? So real quick, a spike is a user story. Well, it's not a story. A spike is a ticket in a sprint where you're going to be doing some type of like investigation, some type of research and stuff like that, right? So I got an email today. I'm subscribed to someone named Mike Cohen, and I'm subscribed to his newsletter, and he sent an email about stop doing so many spikes. So I didn't read the email yet, so I wanted to see what that was about. And I was like, what better opportunity than to read it together? Because for those who are interested in learning more about Agile or who work in an Agile environment, it would be very, very useful for us to learn together what this is actually talking about. So with that being said, I am going to go over to that screen and we're going to read this together, and then we're going to come back. I know we'll have some thoughts about it, and then we'll get to work. All right. So with that being said, let's do it. Let me put this up real quick. And we have, boom, no more spikes and sprints. What in the world is talking about? So let's find out. Let's find out together. All right. So this says, So like I said, a spike is it's a ticket in a sprint where you're doing some type of research. So I wanted to see what exactly he was talking about. So because I'll tell you this, we do quite, like on my team at work, we do quite a few spikes, all right? Especially like when we're getting into something new, trying to figure out what's the best route, what type of infrastructure we need, stuff like that. So we do a lot of spikes, right? So well, I was curious. It says, one of the most common mistakes I see teams make is relying too much on spikes. A spike is an activity a team performs to get smarter about something. With a spike, a team isn't trying to immediately deliver new capability. Instead, they are building the knowledge that will allow them to deliver the new capability later. So a team isn't trying to immediately deliver new capability. So we're not implementing the actual work. We are trying to see what it's needed, like what information do we need to know in order to implement it later on, all right? Spikes are great tools, and I'd expect every team to use them, but not on everything they work on. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, you know. The best use of a spike is to reduce excess uncertainty. This could be uncertainty about how a feature should work or how it will be built, right? A team may opt, for example, to spike the user interface for a particular feature, or it may use a spike to determine if a technical approach is feasible or will perform at the required level, right? Okay, so far so good. Each of these can be a good use of a spike. The problem comes when a team wants to use a spike on everything. I put that on everything, all right? Spikes should be used only in cases of extreme or excessive amount of uncertainty. Spikes should not be used to reduce the typical garden variety uncertainty that exists in all work. So pretty much it's saying like, if it's something that is totally new, totally foreign, use a spike to get enough information to get started on the work. But you don't have to be certain about every single thing before you actually get started on the work, because then now you're just like using it in excess, you know? You're getting addicted to spikes, all right? All right, so that's pretty much what I'm reading here, right? So further, let's see, where are we? All right, further, spikes should not be used to eliminate uncertainty. Teams need to be comfortable bringing work into their sprints or iterations with open issues remaining. Is your team reluctant to allow work to a sprint with any remaining uncertainty? That's sometimes the result of team members feeling excessive pressure to estimate perfectly. And trust me, by no means do we ever estimate perfectly, because some things blow up, some things are a lot easier. It's estimating is such a, to me, it's like this, right? I'll give you an example. Remember when I was getting my roof done a few years ago, and they said that, all right, this is the price, this is the estimate, right? But you might need additional plywood, because once we actually tear the roof off, we'll see how much damage to the existing plywood there is. So, and say, so we've priced in about like 10 pieces of plywood. So after they're done, like we actually had to use about like 30 pieces of plywood because it was really, really bad. So they had to get started. Shout out to Lakita Logan Rain. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. All right. So with that being said, so it's like you always go into with some uncertainty, but you don't want to have like so much like totally unknown. So for instance, with this roofing thing, they were able to say, all right, this is the price that it'll be for each piece if we have to, of plywood, if we have to get more. But we're going to price in an estimate of 10 into it just in case, right? And then we have to pay more for so that's like, for me, like that was kind of like their spike and their proposal and things like that, right? So let's keep going. Let's see. So, all right. So if that's happening, a scrum master or coach needs to work with outside stakeholders or whomever is creating these unrealistic expectations. Sometimes it's even the team members putting this pressure on themselves. But what's the problem with frequent spikes anyway? So here's what I want to know. What's the big deal? It's that overuse of spikes extend your time to value. That is 100% accurate. And what does it mean by time to value? So pretty much time to value is how much time does it take for you to actually deliver value to either the company, to your customer, to your client? Because if you are spending so much time researching whatever it is, then when are you going to actually get the work done? I will give you an actual example that I had working in the coaching group, right? So we were trying to, like the majority of the group is working on development, quality assurance, learning different things. But we had a couple of people working on the UI UX, right? But it's like every single sprint, it was like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? To the point that I was like, you know what? I just need you guys to actually produce something and stop asking what do we think about something and actually give us something to give feedback on. So it was like a constant spike that there was no actual value being delivered because it was just research. And from me, all right, give us something and let us give you feedback, and then you can iterate on that. But it's always about, right, how soon, how quickly can we actually add value? So I totally agree with that right here, right? So this is especially true when the spike is done in one iteration and the rest of the work in a subsequent iteration. So what that means is when the spike, when you take a whole sprint to do a spike, so let's say you're doing 2-week sprints, right? So it takes 2 weeks to figure out the spike, and then the work that actually needs to be done gets brought into the next sprint. So you might be looking at a 4-week turnaround versus if it's something that you can figure out while working in the story, then you're looking at a 1 to 2 week turnaround. So how much quicker can we actually start bringing value? And the faster you bring value, the faster you start to make money. So at the end of the day, it breaks down to how much money are we going to be making, right? How much money are we going to be making? So let's see. So it says overuse of spikes also reduces the extent to which teams overlap work. This can increase the burden on testers. Hey, you see, look at that. Somebody is actually thinking about these testers.
Thank you for your patronage.
For example, consider the case of a programmer who uses a spike to reduce the uncertainty of a backlog item. If that item is brought into the next sprint, the programmer's work has been made simpler by the spike, but the testers has not.
Bruh.
It's a good point. That is a good point, right? If your testers are struggling, if us testers are on the struggle bus, right, to keep current with the programmers, consider whether the team is doing too many spikes. It's a good question to ask yourself, even when the testers don't seem overburdened, if you want to succeed with Agile, right? So, and that article was by Mike Cohen. And let's go back to full screen. And so I thought that was a great article, great idea. Like I said, when you are working in an agile environment, you're going to be seeing spikes all over the place. And I think something that we should ask ourselves is a spike really necessary in this case? If the, let's say if the level of effort for the spike is really low, are we able to pair that with the story? But it could be that you find out from the spike that the level of effort is going to be really big. So it's just, I think you have to use your best judgment, but don't rely too heavily on always doing a spike, because my number one question is, all right, what kind of value can we bring, and how fast can we bring that value to our stakeholders, right? So that was that. Let me know what you think about that. All right, so let me check the chat, and then we're going to get to our first working session of the day. All right, let's see. We got my guy in the building. We got Junior. What's up, Junior? Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. And Junior, have you 3D printed anything cool lately? I still have to get with my cousin about that 3D printer, right? So let's see what else we got. Yes, K. Cooper, please don't mind Mitch's foolishness. That's just Mitch, right? Got one of those watermelons yet. All right, let's see where we're at. So let's see. We are good. We got my other guy in the chat, me, Masafai, in the building. What's good with ya? Let's see. And Mitch, for the people, Mitch. That's your name, Mitch. For the people, Mitch. I'm always going to ask, who's your people, Mitch? Who's your people? And Mitch is going to say, your people too. Yo people too, right? Right? I got you, bitch. I got you. All right. So let's do it. I am going to throw up our first 20-minute segment on the clock. We are going to be looking at the article. That's before we go any further. We got Lakita Logan Range in the building. Hi to you as well. Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to drop it in the chat, and I will be more than happy to answer for you as well. All right. So, and me, myself, I said he just got done walking 15 miles. Oh my goodness. The rain stopped me yesterday, and I only got 3 miles done, so I have to make up for the missed miles as well. Shout out to you, me, myself. That is amazing. And Mitch said, like I knew he was gonna say, your people too, you know what people. That's what All right. Enough fun and games. Let's get to work for tonight. All right. So we are going to. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to read the article that your car sent me. It's from TechCrunch. When I first got, I'm like, this seems like a bug bite episode for a Friday, but then I'm like, wait. This could actually be something really, really cool that we could try because it's a new tool, App Studio, or I don't know how new it is, but enough talking. Let's get to work.
It's time to do.
All right, so this article is from TechCrunch. It says AWS Studio promises to generate enterprise apps from written prompt. Right. So what that sounds like is that we should be able to write a little bit of text, and then abracadabra, AWS App Studio is going to say, here is your enterprise app, right? So let's dig into it. See if we can really do that, okay? So generative AI is everywhere these days, but Amazon Web Services has been perceived in some circles as being late to the game. A lot of people say that AWS, they're kind of quiet. The last time we spoke about AWS and AI was back in like November when they were launching AWS. What do they call it? Like Amazon Q. It's chatbot for businesses, and we played with that. We tried it out, but we didn't have too much success because it wasn't because of anything because of AWS. It's because the level, like the configuration level of enterprise that they need, I didn't have that. So like if I was doing it for a company, then we would probably be able to set it up, but it was okay. In January though, my AWS bill did kind of skyrocket because of that, but they did refund that. So shout out to AWS. But so let's keep going, right? So App Studio promises to help you create an enterprise software application from a written prompt that correct. Okay, let me read that again. App Studio promises to help you create an enterprise software application from a written prompt. That's correct. You simply describe the program you want, and AWS says it will write the code for you without the need for any professional developers. Really? What? So let's stop right there. What are they telling us? So they're saying that if you have a company and you need some type of application for your employees to use, you don't necessarily need to go out there and hire a developer to build it for you. You should be able to go into AWS and give it some words, and then it should be able to build it for you, right? Let's find out some more. So App Studio is for technical folk who have technical expertise, but are not professional developers. We're enabling them to build enterprise-grade apps. Shuram Devanathan, GM, General Manager of Amazon Q Apps and AWS App Studio, told TechCrunch. So I was just speaking about Amazon Q, right? We tried it out back in November-ish times, and now, so this is the GM for it. and for AWS App Studio. Hopefully App Studio doesn't blow up my bill, but if it does, as the same way, see, I'm just like Mitch. Mitch could be my brother, because the same way as Mitch is for the people, I am for the people as well. All right, so Amazon defines enterprise apps as having multiple UI pages with the ability to pull from multiple data sources, perform complex operations like joins and filters, and embed business logic in them. It is aimed at IT professionals, data engineers, so people like Mitch, Mitch and Mr. Lott. By the way, Mr. Lott is also a data engineer, right? And enterprise architects, even product managers who might lack coding skills but have the requisite company knowledge to understand what kind of internal software applications they might need. The company is hoping to enable these employees to build applications by describing the application they need and the data sources they wish to use. Examples of the type of applications include an inventory tracking system or claims approval process. So imagine if people are in claims and things like that, or they need to track the inventory for the products that they have in a warehouse, maybe, I don't know. The user starts by entering the name of the application, calling the data sources, and then describing the application they want to build. The system comes with some sample prompts to help, but users can enter an ad hoc description if they wish, right? It then builds a list of requirements for the application and what it will do based on that description. The user can refine these requirements by interacting with the generative AI. In that way, it's not unlike a lot of no-code tools that preceded it, but Devanathan says it is different. It is different. How is it different? How is it different? Are you guys as intrigued as I am? Because I'm very, very curious about how is this going to work. And how is it, like, who tests it? I don't know. This is, I'm very curious, right? So this is a screenshot of how this thing looks. You have your generate your app using AI. I can't make this picture bigger. Well, can I? Let me see. Oops. Now, I can't make that picture bigger, but let me see. I need an application for researchers to submit research proposals and supporting documents. On the submission page, researchers should be able to see past submissions they made. Submissions should be available to approvers who will decide to approve. All right, so that's way too small for me to read, right? But I'm going to say this. Your car. The conversation that we did not have earlier today, right? That prompt is along the lines of that conversation that we never had, never existed, never to be spoken about again, all right? But it's kind of along the line, right? So analyzing the prompt, please don't refresh the page. Your app requirements are ready for review. And then it does all these. Okay, so we're going to have to try this out. And then you see this little button here, generate app. Generate app. So let's keep going. Where App Studio is different, it is the way we use generative AI to really reduce your learning curve. I'd say there's almost no learning curve. The typical no-code tools, you have to understand their paradigm. You have to understand the visual interface. You have to really, over time, build some expertise. Once the application is complete, it goes through a mini DevOps pipeline where it can be tested before going to production. In terms of identity, security, and governance, and other requirements any enterprise would have for applications being deployed, the administrator can link to existing systems when setting up the App Studio. When it gets deployed, AWS handles all of that on the back end for the customer based on the information entered by the administrator. App Studio uses multiple models running on Amazon Bedrock, including Amazon Titan and Anthropic, depending on the job, according to Devanathan. App Studio is available for preview starting on Wednesday. This was written on July 10th, so we should have it available. I am super, super interested in figuring this out. So let me know your thoughts about this. I'm going to go. So I already started making sure that it was available in my AWS. So I'm going to go over here. So first and foremost, App Studio is only available in US West 2, which is Oregon. So I'm going to show you what I mean. When I go, so this is my AWS homepage. I'm going to switch this to the default of US East 1, North Virginia. And when I go into here and I'm going to type in App Studio, and I'm going to click on App Studio, it's going to tell me that the region is unsupported. It's not supported in US East, which is North Virginia. Select another region. The only region that's available is US West. That's the same situation for, what do you call that tool? Device Farm. It's only in US West too. So we're going to click on that. And we get brought to App Studio. So we read the TechCrunch article. However, let's read from AWS's point of view, because they're going to give the exact description and the purpose of this tool. All right. So let's figure it out. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right, cool enough. Okay, so App Studio builds secure internal applications more easily with generative AI. So one key word I want to focus on is internal. When we were reading the TechCrunch article, I didn't see anything mentioned about internal. But this one says build internal. What is an internal app versus an external app? To me at least, an internal app is if let's say I have a company, right? And so let's say I have, your car working for me, Junior working for me, Mitch working for me, Kay Cooper, Roxy, anyone, right? Let's say we have 10 people. And I need an app for them to be able to do their work inside of my company. So I could either try to find a third-party vendor that already has an existing app and try to make it work for me. I could hire a company to build the app for me if I needed to be very custom. I could hire a developer to build it internally for the company, because this is an internal tool to manage the whatever workload they have inside the company. So it's not that I'm going to be creating a product to sell externally, right? Or here comes App Studio. It says I can build a secure internal app for my employees. The external app would be if I'm building an app where I'm going to put it on, let's say the Google Play Store. I'm going to put it on the Apple Store so that it can be a desktop app. It could be a mobile app, whatever the case may be. It could be a website that is accessed internally to do whatever. So it's just pretty much a software that I'm offering to outside people, right? So, but this is saying build secure internal applications for more easily with generative AI. So App Studio is an application building service that accelerates development through generative AI assistance, empower a new set of builders to create fully managed internal applications against your AWS data services. So that is the first thing that I noticed that stood out to me, because I remember when I was describing it to your car earlier, after I got to this page, he's like, that's not what I got from the article. I'm like, you're right, because I thought the same thing that you thought, that we can say, all right, just build me this application and I can go sell it, and and then we make millions and millions of dollars. That's not what I'm really seeing here, So let's keep going. Overview. App Studio is a low-code application building service that accelerates development through an intuitive visual interface powered by generative AI assistants. Empower technical employees outside of the traditional development roles like solution architects and system analysts to more easily create and deploy fully managed internal applications like customer service ticketing systems, project approval portals, and more. Reduce development time with pre-built components and generative AI-powered recommendations. Connect your app to AWS and third-party services. Customize your app using custom queries and JavaScript snippets, and more easily satisfy enterprise security standards and policies. So the question is then, because what your car thought, or what he sent me at the time, he's like, is this going to pretty much get rid of software engineers? And at first I'm like, yeah, it sounds like it. But now that I'm thinking about it some more, is it going to free the software engineers from having to maintain internal company tools and focus on on building external software that the company will make more money? Because building these internal tools for your company, they take resources, they cost a lot of money, and then we're not able to focus on the external value of what's going to be generating the income. So I'm like, this might actually be beneficial because I'll tell you this, engineers, we don't really like working on those internal like little tools and stuff like that because it's so much maintenance, and then you leave the company and then someone has to take it over, and and that's why companies end up for like tech companies, we're big for this. We don't like to develop our in-house solutions. We would rather pay for like a Team City or a GitHub Actions or whoever, so that we can actually focus on building applications that are going to make us money, that are going to add value externally. It costs way too much, and it's way too much overhead and maintenance to maintain it internally. So this one is looking like, all right, instead of having to go and buy these third-party tools, these third-party softwares, how about we empower our product owners, our scrum masters, our whoever's, our solutions architect to handle these internal apps for us. That's what I'm getting. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing here, right? So let's see. The benefits of this: empower new builders, leverage App Studio, intuitive UI and pre-built components. Technical product managers, solution architects, and other IT professionals can build internal applications without developer skill set or tools. Because there's some things that you're going to need developers to do, right? Especially like handling complex logic, embedding, like whatever custom requests and stuff like that. Because no code solutions can only go so far, right? Optimize business processes, quickly implement custom cloud-based internal apps that streamline manual data input, such as approval portals for sales contracts or admin panels for databases, or I'm just gonna say your car, you know what I mean? You got me. You feel me? All right. Accelerate application development. App Studio guides builders with generative AI assisted building and refactoring opportunities to address the most tedious and manual aspects of app building. Let's see. Lastly, utilize AWS security and scale. All App Studio apps leverage AWS powerful security technology and controls to enable businesses to innovate more securely. All right. Let's see. So the use cases: approval workflow, inspector manager, and then related services, AWS IAM. We can read this. We have 4 minutes up, right? So businesses need tools to manage sequential approval workflows for requests like sales contracts, purchase orders, or invoices. App Studio can quickly build an approval app that processes and tracks multi-step approvals between requesters and approvers. For approvers, the app displays pending requests needing review and a dashboard showing all requests and statuses. Using connectors, approval data can automatically sync to databases like Salesforce or DynamoDB to update inventory and accounting records. For requesters, the app provides forms to submit new requests with attachments and track status updates. Requesters receive notifications as their requests move through the approval workflow, right? So that's one workflow use case. The other, inspection manager. Teams dispatching agents or engineers to inspect machinery or equipment can streamline workflows with an App Studio inspection manager app. App Studio can allow inspection managers to oversee team members' daily inspections in real time, schedule and assign new inspection tickets, monitor a dashboard with key metrics and statistics, and inspectors use handheld devices to submit real-time inspection reports to managers. App Studio can integrate with AWS Redshift to access data on inspector shift, building lists, and inspection units in each building. Right? So much stuff happening. Seems pretty cool. I just want to get my hands on it at this point. So much reading. I want to get my hands on this at this point. All right. So with that being said, let's go over up here and say, get started. So set up App Studio, empower a new set of builders to create secure apps on AWS, grant admin and builder role access to LDAP groups or individual users so they can get started. You know what? I just had a crazy idea. Your car. I don't know how we're going to pull this off, right? But I would love to create a user in my AWS account so that someone who is totally not technical, but by not technical, someone who doesn't know anything on how to code or anything like that, but they have a business, they have a job where, they do something where they could use some type of app to help streamline that and see how well they can use AI to generate the application to build it, right? Because for me, like, I'm gonna know all the things I wanted to say, although I don't know what app to actually build. I have an idea though. The idea also, thanks to your car, but we'll get into that as we keep going. But I think that'll be really cool. Have someone who is not like a coder or something like that, but maybe some. I have an idea. Wait. Maybe someone who might be like a civil engineer who would say, all right, you know what? In civil engineering, we do A, B, and C, and this tool, this application would help us streamline this, and then they would come in and they would write out what they're looking for and see how that would work. I don't know. Just thinking. I don't know. Don't. I might be crazy, but don't call me crazy. All right. So let's get started. All right. So let's see what's going on here. Create an AWS App Studio instance. Configure access to App Studio with single sign-on. IAM Identity Center using an existing account instance. Let's see. To check if you have an account instance, review your IAM. I'm going to say create. I don't think I have one. Let's say create one. Let's see. And I can add a user straight from here. Imagine that.
Lunch break.
All right, so we are right there. We're going to be at the brink of it. When we come back, we're going to continue with this and see how far we can get, right? I think this is going to be fun. But guess what? It is time for break. And at break, we are at. All right. So let me see. Let's see what's going on in the chat. And then I will. Oh, yeah. So during our break, right? Let me get this chair. So there we go. All right. There we go. So during our break, right? I was watching Ferris's stream yesterday, and he was talking I came in on the part where he was talking about this IBM thing, and people talking about they're not going to go back to work for IBM, to the office for IBM, and it had me thinking, right? So we're going to look into an article talking about IBM's return to office, but we're going to go through the chat first to see how we're doing, and because I don't want to mix pre-chat or pre-break convo versus post-break convo, all that good stuff, right? So let's see here. Mitch just said, before I thought that I was definitely thinking Ralph be knowing what I'd be talking about. That's why I'd be getting mad. I have absolutely no idea what you'd be talking about. I have no idea. I just like, oh, that was pretty funny. I looked it up. Oh, that was pretty funny. See, if I know what you're talking about, I'm going to tell you I know what you're talking about. All right. I'm just saying. And my guy, Junior, says, I haven't printed anything in a while. Hope to get back to it soon. I hope so too. I hope to see a video soon too about whatever next thing you come up with. I think 3D printing is really, really cool. And says he be I do not. I honestly don't know what Mitch is talking about. 98% of the time, all right? There's 2% of the time that I am trolling, you know? Like when he's like, your people, like my people, I'm like, who are your people, Mitch? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? Let's see. And your car is laughing about the conversation that we did not have. There's no proof of it whatsoever. We didn't have that conversation, all right? I'm just saying. The first rule of Fight Club is that there is no Fight Club. There is no such thing as a Fight Club. That's, I don't know what you're talking about, right? I don't know what you're talking about, your car. And so Mitch says, ha! He said Mitch working from him. Who that? Oh my goodness. Not happening, Mitch. All right, you know. What if I make you an offer you can't refuse? What if I make you an offer you can't refuse? Uh-oh. K. Cooper. All right, see, look at that. Look at that. Your car is back on his being so generous again. You know, if you got a membership from your car, please give him a big thank you. Let your car know that you appreciate him.
I appreciate you.
All right, because he is so kind and generous. You know, I'm just saying. Let him know that you appreciate him. All right, so let's see. And let's see. So Just Amp says, not crazy at all, and don't pull the rug from under my feet. All right. And it said, that boy got a gangster lean. Let me see your shoulder lean. All right. And your card says Kit Kat time. And let's see. Rob be thinking, oh my God, what did Mitch say? Facts. That's a fact. All right. Let's see. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to go into this article because I was really intrigued by this yesterday, by this conversation. So Ferris was reviewing let me put up a 5-minute timer on this because I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. But Ferris was reviewing a video where they're talking about, I think it was about IBM people saying, I am not going back to the office whatsoever. You know what? We're going to quit. And I felt some type of way about that. So let's go and let's review this article real quick, right? So let's go over to here, or put this up first. And we're going to go to here. So it is almost time for IBM employees to go back to the office. When I was looking for this article, I saw that they have to go back to the office in August 2024. So that's next month, less than a month away. All right. So it says remote workers, excluding those with specific exemptions such as medical issues or military service, must relocate closer to an IBM office by the end of August. So a little bit over a month then. And this was written January 30th, 2024. Amid mixed reactions to companies attempting to end remote work, IBM has asked all of its managers to return to office or leave the job, according to Bloomberg. In a memo dated January 16th, Senior Vice President John Granger said that all managers based in the U.S. must now report to an office or client location for a minimum of 3 days each week, irrespective of their current work arrangement. They said, I don't give a about your work arrangement. You are bringing your back to the office. That's exactly what they said. Word for word. I heard him say it. I'm just saying, right? Remote workers, excluding those with specific exemptions such as medical issues or military service, must relocate closer to an IBM office by the beginning of August. Typically, this involves residing within a 50-mile radius, approximately 80 kilometers radius. So here it's saying remote workers. I didn't start the clock. Hold on. Did I start the clock? I didn't start the clock. All right. So here it's saying remote workers. And here it's saying all managers. So do they just have to move to be closer to the office, but they don't necessarily have to go in all the time while the managers have to go in all the time? That part's a little fuzzy to me, right? The company will utilize badge-in data to evaluate individual attendance. Managers who don't relocate and are unable to secure a role that's approved to be remote must separate from IBM. So pretty much they're dumping you. They're saying, yeah, if you're not going to abide by my rules and standards, you got to go, right? Significantly, this comes after IBM CEO Arvind Krishna said in May last year that the company plans to use AI to replace 7,800 jobs over the next 5 years. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. So now thinking about the people who said they're not coming back in, does that mean that they are helping the company eliminate those jobs? I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? Over the next 5 years. So that would be, if he said that last year, 2023, that means by 2028, they would want to replace 7,800 jobs with AI. I wonder what type of jobs that those are as well, right? So Prior to that, IBM had said it would cut about 3,900 jobs, or 1.5% of its workforce, to reduce costs. 1.9% of its workforce. So they have like about they would have to have like 390. Hold on a second. Let me do math on the fly, right? How many employees does IBM have? So they have 308,000 employees. Remember we were talking about the other day, like about Tesla laying off employees and stuff like that. And when it really comes down to it, it's actually like a little bit of a drop in the bucket of how many total employees that they have, right? So 1.5% of its workforce, 3,900, right? So when you think about it too, right? If you're replacing 7,800 jobs with AI, it's not that many jobs at the end of the day, right? In September, IBM asked employees as its software division to return to the office. Unlike the latest decision to ask U.S. managers, the previous mandate was issued to employees worldwide. The new mandate amid a backdrop of varying opinions among employees and companies regarding the advantages of discontinuing remote work. About 90% of companies to end work from home. A recent survey of Resume Builder showed that 90% of companies plan to stop working from home by the end of 2024. About 24% said they would threaten to fire employees who don't comply. However, another survey by Invoice showed 80% of executives regret the initial steps taken to bring employees back to the office. All right, so that's good. That's good. The Bloomberg report added that despite the implementation of new regulations, office attendance in 2023 exhibited limited growth. They pretty much said, your return to office. I repeat, your return to office. That's what they said. It's like, oh, you want us to come back to office? Hold my beer, right? Oh my God, I just thought about something. I'm gonna let you know after this, right? But Mitch, remind me, this story, what I just remembered relates to you. Remind me, all right? Remind me. But anyways, so the Bloomberg report added that despite the implementation of new regulations, office attendance in 2023 exhibited limited growth, as per data provided by Castle Systems. Within the 10 largest business districts in the U.S., the presence of employees in offices remained at approximately 50% of pre-pandemic levels, with technology-centric regions such as San Francisco Bay Area recording even lower percentages. IBM did not respond to detailed email queries. IBM is focused on providing a work environment that balances flexibility with the face-to-face interactions that make us more productive, innovative, and better able to serve our clients. The company told Bloomberg, consistent with that approach, we're requiring executives and people managers in the United States to be in the office at least 3 days per week. All right. So that's that. Now, that's going to be pretty interesting how that's all going to work out. And in our next break, we're going to be talking about what if people refuse to get back to the office, what's going to happen, So I wanted to share that. It's almost time.
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
Before we go back to work, D-Generation X wants to know to all the IBM employees who have not relocated yet.
Are you ready?
We want to know. And would you relocate? Let's say you're working remotely, right? And they say, all right, we need you to relocate back to, let's go back to full screen. We need you to relocate, not even back. We need to closer to within 50 miles of the office. We're going to help you pay for relocation. And you can choose anywhere in, let's say anywhere in the country that you're working in, right? So if you are working for a US-based IBM, we'll help you relocate to anywhere in the US that has an office within 50 miles of it. We'll pay for A, B, C, and D, but we want you to be close to the office. Sometimes you might have to come in. Would you do it? Or would you say, nah, it ain't happening. I'm not moving. I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm going to try to find another remote job, right? So that's the question. That is the question. But yeah, so let's get this off the screen. And as we go through the chat, I'm going to tell you what happened the other day, right? It had to be like 2 days ago, maybe yesterday. But yeah, where is this thing? All right, so cool. Let me check the chat. And Mitch says, I think Walmart forcing corporate back too. And Yakar says, people have to realize that this is about commercial real estate and not just can the job be done remotely. There you go. If I'm paying all this money for this fancy building and these fancy coffee makers and these free vending machines and stuff like that, somebody's going to use it. Somebody is going to use it. I remember at my last job, the week that I was starting, I think it was like, the week I started, maybe the week before I started, they had just moved buildings, and it was an amazing building. There was like, when you went outside of the like our office area, there was a, what do you call that? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it looked like we were working inside of a mall, right? By how you can be on the second floor and you can look down on the bottom floor and a big old open area and stuff like that. And like we had like free snacks and we had free drinks, free coffee, everything was free, right? And then pandemic happened and all that stuff wasn't being used. Right? So I'm just saying, right? And let's see. If they don't have employees in the building, then the real estate isn't playing its double role. It houses employees and holds value as a company asset. You know, see?
Message.
They don't get it. And it says, me? Yeah, you. This was all your fault, right? This was all your fault. So let's see. And it says, what happens if you get laid off? What happens if you get laid off if you move closer? That's a good point, Mitch. That's a good point. I'll try to find another remote job, but it's competition. That's a good point. And it says, the coffee makers are fancy. We had like 2 or 3 different coffee makers. We had a regular coffee pot for those who are, traditional old fashioned. We had the K-cup machines. And then we had this, like these, the Nespresso pod stuff, and so many different flavors. It was crazy. And then no one was in the office after that, and no one ever came back, right? And then they closed the company down, right? So before we get back to work, this is the thing I just remembered while I was going through reading this, right? And thank God it was just a dream, right? It was just a dream. But I had a dream that I had actually bought an energy drink. And I opened it and I drank it. And then I was like, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to be drinking energy drinks. But I could have sworn it was real. I was like, what in the world is going on here? But I'm like, and I remember the color of the can. It was a blue monster. I've never seen a blue monster, but it was a blue monster. And I drank it, and then I took a sip of it, right? And then I'm like, hold on, I'm not supposed to be drinking energy drinks, and it was just a mess. I felt terrible. And then I was like, and now I just remembered, oh, that was actually a dream. But I don't know why it popped into my head while I was reading this. I think probably when I said the fancy coffee makers or something, and I thought about. But yeah, that's what happened. I have to bring myself to the front of the congregation. I dreamed about drinking an energy drink, and I thought it was real. But it was a dream that I drank an energy drink, and not that I actually drank it. So I was like, I'm gonna get in so much trouble, and then I'm like, oh, it was actually just a dream. It was all a dream. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, let me check the chat, and then we're gonna get to our next phase of work. So. Let's see what we got. Your car says, when you consider security, I am thinking most companies will start getting rid of all these remote and start making people come in again. All these ransomware attacks are scaring companies. I was thinking about that the other day too, your car. Because although things can happen inside the company as well, but connecting to a VPN, it's, and here's the thing. I do think the security is it's less secure. It is less secure when you're not inside the office and stuff like that using Wi-Fi. If you're working remote, how likely are you to lock your computer as you would be in the, although I have seen people who not lock their computers in the office and then they come back and the screensavers change and stuff like that. So, that people but I'm just thinking like, it is like, it's secure in the fact that you're in your own home, but there's Wi-Fi things. There's people using your Wi-Fi. People might like, you might have a neighbor on your Wi-Fi. Who knows? I don't know. But I understand what you're saying about the security part. I do understand that. Let's see. Mitch says he's hybrid. Let's see. I haunt you in your sleep. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And Just Amp says, here we go again. We are not going to get into one of those energy drinks conversations. You know, I'm just saying it was a dream. I'm happy it was just a dream because I felt terrible during the dream, you know, or maybe it was a nightmare. Who knows, right? And your card says, I'm a indica. I don't know what that means. It says, you had a dream that you drank an energy drink. Yes. I had a dream that I drank an energy drink. It was a long week, all right? It was a long week, all right? It says, that's called withdrawal symptoms. Hey, my name is Ralph. I have a problem. You know, I'm just saying. It says, I used to read Word Up magazine. Yep, exactly, right? And I mean, just the latest cyber attack, I think, was on an employee's personal computer. He was accessing work stuff on it. Yep, that's not good. Let's see. And it says, facts, those phishing attacks are killing people. That is true. I don't click on it. See, here's the thing with me, right? I get so much emails, like from meeting invites and everything like that. I just use the calendar mostly. I'm barely able to read the emails that I get from actual coworkers and stuff like that I'm going to be clicking on external links as well. It's just not happening, right? And Just Amp says nothing is secure regardless of where you are. That is true. And says, off topic, I saw a red box at Walmart the other day. Forgot to I think they have the red box. Like, I think they still have a red box at the Walmart down the street from my house. And the funny thing is, right? There's people who still use it. I'm like, who has it? Like, you still have DVD players? Like, I don't know. And your car says, I seen one at the CVS. That's hilarious. They still have them. Even though they're filing bankruptcy, you know? It is what it is. All right. But let's get back to work. With our next segment. So we're going back to, let's put up another 20 minutes.
Let's go!
And we are here. So we are at the step of creating this, right? So let's see. Let me read this. Account permissions. To set up your App Studio, your account must have the following permissions. Verify your account has the following required permissions. Administrator permission to manage AWS Identity and Access Management Identity Center. I'm pretty sure I'm logged in as myself, as root, so yes. Identity and Access Management permissions to create and deploy roles and policies. Yes, I'm logged in as myself. So configure, so let me close this out. Configure, you know what? I forgot to start up the 2-hour timer, but we'll do our typical 3 segments and then we'll wrap it up for tonight, all right? Forgot to put the 2-hour timer on, but it is what it is, you know? Sometimes it can be a little bit mature, a little bit grown, you know? We don't have to have a timer on our back every single time, you know? Oh my God. Just says, you know, red box in all in Florida. They sure are, right? Let's see. So Identity and Access Management. So access to App Studio is managed. Access to App Studio is managed with single sign-on powered by AWS Identity and Access Management Identity Center. Provide access to App Studio admin and builder roles by adding IAM Identity Center groups to assigning the corresponding role. So it says use an existing account instance. Select this option if you have an AWS IAM Identity Center account instance, or you can create a new one. So we're going to create a new one and verify that IAM Identity Center instance. App Studio setup will fail if you already have an account instance in any region. We recommend going to the IAM Identity to verify you don't. All right, so let's check it. Not a big deal. Do we have one? I guess we don't. So let's just do it. Let's see if we do it from here. What happens? 'Cause it's not enabled, but let's see if it's going to enable it for us. And then it says, once you set up App Studio in AWS IAM Identity Center, accounts will be created with the groups you've identified. The group will be added to App Studio and given access based on the role. After setup is complete, additional users can be added to the admin and builder groups from IAM Identity Center, right? Create the group, admin group users. In addition to the builder permissions, members of admin group can create, edit connectors. Yada, yada. All right, cool. Builder group. You must add yourself as an admin to access the App Studio. All right, so I have to add myself. All right, cool. Let's see. We detect that your account is tied to a management organization. Use a different account to... What? What does that mean? A different account? A management organization? Let's see what that means. So let's go with AWS. To a different organization. Well, I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. All right. Let's see here. All right, let me do this off screen. Let's see what happens here. Let's go with that maybe. And let's go. Let's see. Acknowledge App Studio. We'll create IAM policy, AWS Code Catalyst, Secrets Manager, and AWS CloudWatch. What's up, Rod Brown? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. App Studio will create existing Code Catalyst space. So I'm worried about this right here. It says, we detect that your account is tied to a management organization. We detect that your account... What is it? Let me just... I don't know. Let's see what happens. They're not going to let me do it. Oh, that sucks. Let me see. All right, let's figure this out. Why is my account tied to a management organization? Let me go back to here. Let me see. Let's go to... let me see. Let's go to IAM, Identity and Access Management, organization. So let's search for AWS, AWS organizations. How can I get rid of the organization? Let me see. Is an account management service that enables you to consolidate multiple AWS accounts into an organization. My account is tied to an organization. I could log into the other account. I don't know what the password is though. Let me see, organization activity maybe? Interesting. Let's see. Interesting. So organization activity. I don't know. It's saying that we detect your account is tied to a management organization. Use a different account to continue onboarding. Why should that matter? Let me see. Let's see what this is over here. Let's see, setting. Let me click around real quick. Let me see what's going on here. I could just delete the regular. Oh, okay. I could delete the organization. After you remove all member AWS accounts from your organization. Let's take a look at that right here. After you remove all member AWS accounts from your organization and only the management accounts remain, you can delete this. Okay, so basically, when we were doing the AWS, the Amazon queue, we had to create the organization, but it's saying that if we were to, let's say we get rid of that, remove from organization. Oh, could not be removed. Why? And see how we always end up in some other stuff as we go into these explorations. If you enable trust access for removing the account can cause some changes in how trusted services behave. Let's see. The member account must be configured with a valid payment, such as a credit card. What? Oh, I see what that's saying. I see what it's saying. Well, all right. Oh, God. Let's see what we can do. Let me see. I didn't do that. All right, let's do this. All right, cool. Let's go. The password. Let's see here. So, in order to remove one, we have to, in order to remove the second one, we have to add a billing thing to it. So, let me second. What's that password? All right. Let's log back into this. Hold on. Next. Gotta get the code. Two-factor authentication. Always enable two-factor authentication. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay. Let me see if I can go here. Here. Mm-hmm. Account ID. Let's go with account ID. Let's see here. All right. I got in. So now we need to add in some billing information. And then we will be able to continue. So let me take care of this real quick. Let's see, payment, add payment. All right, and sure. Okay. Okay. Bear with me for a second as we get through this part. Do you see the rabbit holes you can end up going down when you are working in tech? You think it's going to be all straightforward, and all of a sudden, boom. Let's see. And let's see here. Oops. Yukar, while we're doing this, while I'm doing this, Yukar, anything significant come out of the press conference? How many questions were answered? Cool. So let me close that, and we should be able to go back over here. All right, let's go back over here. And where were we? So, organization activity. All right, so now we need to try to remove this again. So here, how did I get there last time? All right, so we're going here. He coughed the whole time. Let's go here, and we're gonna go to remove from organization. What? Let's see. You cannot remove this if the account owner has not completed the phone verification pin. What are we talking about here? Hold on. All right, let me go back to. So many, oh my God, it's so annoying. All right, so let's go here. Phone verification pin. Let's go here. Oops, crap. Let's go here, 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 here. Oh, I can leave the organization myself. All right, cool. Leave this organization. New organization. You cannot, so you cannot leave the organization. You cannot remove an account from an organization if the account owner has not completed the phone verification PIN. After your AWS account leaves the organization, you're responsible for paying your own bill. All right, so let me do that. And oh my goodness, it's a phone call too. Jesus Christ! All right, hold on. They're calling me. Look, I have a call coming from Seattle, from Amazon.
On your screen. We have successfully verified your PIN. Please return to Amazon Web Services to complete your registration. Thank you for your interest in Amazon Web Services. Good.
All right, there we have it. So that's done again. Let's go to complete sign up. All right, now we should be able to get 5 back. Tell me about it, right? All right, let's try this again. All right, let's go to here, back over here, and let's remove again. And you see the date that it was created, 11/30. That was the date that we were working on our. It was like right after Thanksgiving. We were working on at the Amazon Q chatbot for business. All right, so remove from organization again. You're out of there. You are out of there. Right. So now, if we go back over here, are they still blocking us? Let me see. Probably because we still have the organization open. Yep. All right, cool. So let's see here. If we go over to settings, maybe, and we say delete organization and type in this weird code here to delete. All right, cool. Usually just delete, but 6JK6AAGOOC. Delete organization. All right, organization is gone. Now let's go back over here and let me refresh that one more time. And we don't have, all right, cool. We're good. We don't have that anymore. Time is up, but let's at least finish this up because we were taken for quite a loop, right? So let me get this part in real quick. Let's see. So, you guys already know the email anyway. So let's go with here. Let's see. Your first name. Let's go with that. And we're going to say check. And we're going to say set up. And things be happening. Cool. All right. While that's happening, we're going to go to break. When we come back from break, we will see what happens after that. All right. So rabbit holes. Oh, gotta love these rabbit holes. But we are moving along. All right. No worries at all. And you see, at the end of the day, you guys are right. We just had to remove and keep it moving. So where are we at now? Let's see. We are going to, let me see. Let me say what's up to Rod Brown. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing tonight? I think you would have great interest in what we're working on tonight. We're working on this AWS App Studio, where AWS is going to use generative AI to build internal applications. So someone like yourself who builds web applications, maybe mobile. I'm not sure if you do mobile, but I know you do websites, right? And you and your team could say, all right, this is going to help us manage building these websites, and we build a no-code app. Instead of spending time building the thing to help you manage it, you have AWS build it for you while you actually get to focus on things that are adding value and actually making you money, right? So just a thought. Anyways, NT-ways, let's see. We're gonna go to, let me see. Let's go to our second break topic, right? Second break topic for tonight. And then we're gonna go into the chat, have some fun with you guys. So my question was, what if the IBM employees rebel? because they were like, you want us to come back to the office? You need us more than we need you. Right? So, what?
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you tell me that I have to comply with what the company wants me to do? You ain't the boss of me. All right, so timer up. So what if the IBM employees rebel? So one thing that I always say is, especially when it comes to working remote. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love working remote. I love working remote, right? I'm able to, and I also don't like being around a lot of people anyways, but I'm able to make sure I get the work done. I'm able to work at, like, I'm able to, if I have to, if I want to work at night or over the weekend just to make sure I get things done and things in order, then I can do that. I like that I don't have to commute to work and stuff like that, right? But when I was looking for my next position, or at the time my next position, I was ready to go to the office if I had to, because at the end of the day, I still have responsibilities, I still have bills and stuff like that. So I'm like, hey, whatever we need to do to win is what we're gonna do, right? I was able to find this company, which I'm able to work remote, but the question is also, what value do you bring? Because if a company is like trying to cut costs, and at some point they will cut costs, and the value that, like, you cost more than the value that you bring, and then you want to be combative with them as well, then they're gonna be like, all right, cool. You know, now 40,000 employees. Here's the deal. If I number one, I don't remember if the number was actually 40,000 employees, right? But if it is 40,000, that would be like 10%, like a little more than 10% of their workforce. I don't think you're going to get 40,000 people quit because they have to go back to the office. I think that most people will go back to the office. What if they did rebel? What if IBM employees rebelled? Well, what would happen? My idea behind remote work is, if I can work remotely from Florida, if Mitch can work remotely from Jersey, or mainly hybrid. Mitch mainly works hybrid, right? I take it back. Mitch mainly works remote, but he does have like once a month, maybe he goes into the office. That falls under hybrid, but for the most part, Mitch could like be in Miami for 3 out of the 4. Mitch could be in Miami, hanging out on the beach, working from there, from a high rise overlooking the ocean, for 29 out of the 30 days of the month. And he just has to fly to New Jersey, go into the office for that one day, and then he can go fly back to Miami if he wanted to, right? Just saying. But my thing is, if I can work remotely from here, then that also means that if I want to complain and fight and rebel against the company, then they can also get someone who's working remotely in another country, which is a lot less expensive. Now, it is quite possible that the quality of work they'll get in that other country is going to be a lot less than I can provide them. But if I'm going to be a headache to them, then they might, you know what? Let's try to get like 3 or 4 of them for that price of that one person, where they're going to be a lot less headache. They're just going to do what we tell them to do. Now, you might lose out on some innovation, but it's going to be like, so I always say, work on compromising instead of trying to use brute force. You know, learn how to finesse instead of how to force, you know, because yeah, anyways, so now if they say, we're not going to do it, and while some people are going to do it, you're going to call them traitors. You're going to call them, those traitors, but they're not traitors. They're just people who have to feed their family. They want, maybe they like their job at IBM. And for them, it's like, all right, I don't really want to go back to the office, but I really enjoy the job, the 401k, the pension, the work, like the work that I do. So I'm gonna suck it up, and I'm gonna go back to the office. And it's not like that I have to go back every single day. They said I have to be in a 50-mile radius. So as I was saying earlier, what if they move and then they get fired? Well, maybe not move to a small location where there's not going to be many jobs available. Move to like a closer, like on the outskirts of a bigger city, 50 miles. I am pretty sure that within 50 miles of a major city, you're going to find a not so major city that you can probably find somewhere to live, right? Just saying.
Back to work, chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
Because, for instance, down here, you could be working in Miami and living in West Palm Beach. And not even talking about Boca. West Palm Beach is West Palm Beach is cheaper than Broward and Miami. I'm not including Boca because Boca is pretty expensive, right? But the more north you go into Palm Beach, it's going to be cheaper, right? So I'm just saying. So it's really about what is going to be the best for you and best for your future. And especially now when we see on LinkedIn, everybody's complaining about, oh my God, the job market is so hard. Oh my God, the job market is so hard. Oh my God, I've been ghosted. No one ever responds to me. I don't get it. And then like, well, you know what? And I've told people say, it is remote or nothing. Well, a lot of times you will end up with nothing. And while Mitch, my good friend Mitch, is for his people or the people or whoever he's talking about, I'm going to put it like this, right? While Mitch is for his people, right? I'm like, it doesn't matter what you think. Because at the end of the day, we have to win. And we have to put ourselves in the best position to win. So if you can find something else, right, then cool. But remote jobs are so hard to find nowadays. And if you are not the cream of the crop, it's not going to work out for you. Because if you go and you look on these job boards, there are thousands of people applying for the same exact job. And now, guess what happens as well? Those 40,000 people quit, or however many it is, right? If it's 4,000, that's even easier for them to fill up, right? But you just make 40,000 jobs become available for one of the most prestigious companies in the world, and people are going to swallow up those jobs like there is no tomorrow. Because how many people who are dying to get a job, and how many people who will be willing to relocate to work for IBM? So if you're not willing to do it and you want to quit, go for it. But somebody else will. And on that note, that wraps up our second break. Alrighty, let's get to the chat real quick, and then we shall get back to our last segment of the night. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see. So yeah, Yakar was saying maybe it's saying you need to create a member account and attach policies. Yeah, it was weird. Just setup that I had from a long time ago, didn't know it was going to affect me, and just had to remove one, which we ended up doing. Awesome. And remove, add, and restore. Yep. And it says he read from a cheat sheet. Talk about body, right? And he coughed the whole. He still has that cold. Sure, he still has that cold from the debate. The debate was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and he still has that cold. He still hasn't gotten over that yet. It says this should be abuse of the elderly. Well, you know. I told my wife the other day, I'm like, hey, if they like it, I love it. If they like it, I love it. I will never fight someone's decision to do what's in their worst interests. I'm just going to go over there and I'll call the cops for you once you crash, right? So, and it says, yo, it's Mitch. You got my money? What up, Mitch? What up, Mitch? And your car says 5-factor authentication. How many times do you have to log in to get this thing done? And it says, you right. What am I right about? I mean, I know that I'm right, but what am I right about? I mean, at least be specific, Mitch. Be like, when I'm right, let me know that, because it's rare that you say that, right? I know that I'm always right, but it's very rare that you let me know that I'm right, you know? So just let me know. Let me know. And it says, I wasn't in for 3 weeks, went in yesterday and today. That's what I'm talking about. And then tomorrow, Mitch is flying back down to South Florida to hang out on the beach while he analyzes data. You know, that's what we do. And it says, did Intuit do layoffs too? I don't know. Did they? I mean, I'm pretty sure they did at some point. Let me do a quick look, right? Intuit layoffs. Or as they like to say, restructures. So as of yesterday, it says Intuit is laying off 1,800 employees as AI leads to a strategic shift. Maybe we can read that one in our next break. That'll be interesting to find out. All right. So we have Ferris in the building. Feisty Ferris. No, if we come together in Kumbaya, we can achieve anything. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. Where's my aw sound? Where's my... And you know what? That also gets a... Shake and bake. And Ferris says, salutes to you as well, Ferris. And Just Amp says, hey now. Jupiter, Florida and Hobie, is it Hobe or Hobie? Sound still got folks scratching their heads. Let's see. Feisty Ferris in the building. Is IBM situation the same as... Oh, see, I was thinking you were talking about Dell. I was thinking it was IBM. So maybe that's my bad. Let me check the Dell. I'm going to check that real quick. Dell. I was thinking about IBM the whole time. Let's see. Dell refuses. Dell employees not returning to... Let me see what I find from that, right? Let's see. June 20th, 2024. All right, there it goes. So I'm gonna on our next break, I'm gonna read that one because I'm curious to hear about that one because it says the Dell staff rebelling against return to office threats. All right, great. Thanks for clearing that up because I thought it was IBM, but it is actually Dell. That's why I couldn't find where they're talking about rebelling. But we're gonna see, right? And your car says, of course.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And let's see. Which is, I'm a human computer. I don't miss.
We the best.
All right. So let's get to our last segment. On our last segment, we will read the Dell one. And what was my topic for the last segment anyways? Let me see. I didn't have one. All right, cool. Perfect. So let's go and get to our last segment, see if this thing is done. What can we do? Let's go over here. So guess what? This thing is still creating. Let me see. What did... It says, yeah, I was thinking that too. Ferris couldn't stay focused watching the... what was he focusing on? What was Ferris focusing on, Mitch, during the video? We want to know. We want to know. All right. So let's go over to... Let me see. I don't know if there's much we can do right now because this thing is still provisioning. Let's go to here. And let me see. So yeah, this thing is still provisioning. Let's see what we are going to... Let me open up another window. And let's go over to here. Let's go over to here. And here. Let's see. There's not much we could do right now. And you know, the funny thing is, I had searched on YouTube to see if there were any videos about App Studio, and I didn't see anything. So we might be one of the first people. Let me do another search, right? Give me a second, right? Let me go to... I'm gonna do a clean window, right? Let's go to youtube.com. And let's do AWS App Studio. Let's see. So they spoke about it here. All I saw was AWS Amplify. Let's see. AWS. Let me see. Amazon Q. See, I don't see anything about App Studio over here. Only Amplify, no code app builder, drag and drop. Oh, that's Flutter Flow. Remember we're looking at that no code stuff for Flutter Flow, and they were like, it sucks. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything about AWS App Studio over here. Why they don't have me though? You see, YouTube be hating, right? Because if I search here, I don't even see me. What the? Let me see what's going on here. Why I'm not coming up? See, I have App Studio in the title. Come on, see, they be hating. They be hating. All right, let's see here. There I go. That should have been hating. I tell you, hating. Let's see. Anyways, let's close that out. All right. Let's see. Are we done? All right, we're done. We are done. Look at that. Now we're gonna go to App Studio. And jumpstart app building with AI. Save. All right, let's start our clock now that this is working. We're gonna go our last 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
Talking about, I know, your car's gonna remember this. Fair's talking about, like, we do research cyber professional. Remember that time the guy was sending threatening emails on the stream and everyone found out his information in like 2 seconds? They're like, oh, this is exactly where he lives. This is what the job that he does, all that type of stuff. All right, save time using pre-built components, app building made easier. So let's sign in. And let's go with Coach Roof. Let's see what happens. Password. Password. I don't know what my password is. Good question. What is the password? I have no idea. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. I don't know what that is. Oh, I see. Let's see here. Oops. Let me see. Trying to figure. I never put in a password. What are they talking about? Let me see. Let's go back over here. So, all right, so let's look at this real quick, right? Let's look at this real quick. They give you a instance URL so that pretty much anyone can log into it with the username and password. I need my, all right, so let's go here. Let's go look at it over here. Go to App Studio, your organization's URL. And does it mean to create another organization for you? So if we go over here, so it's going to open this. All right, I got you. And then we're going to do sign in. And then, all right, so let me go find my password. All right, hold on, I'm going to find my password. Yeah. Let me see, what's my password? What is the signin.aws? And it's gonna be that one. So we go over here. See if I put that. Let's go here. What? What's the... Hold on. Check some more. There's that one, that one. That one. I'll try this one. I don't think it's that. I never created a password for it. All right, let's do this. All right. Try to figure this password thing out. How does... Let me see something. I'm not sure where... What did I email it to? Okay, I got a password reset. Oh, hold on. So they send you an email, but I got a password reset. So I'm gonna try the password reset. And so I never created a password for this, so that's fine. All right, so let me just use one of these existing ones. Let's go with this. Go with that. Why is it invalid? Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so let's go and take care of this. Let's try this again. What? This is so weird. Why can I not sign in? Okay. All right, we're in. We are in, finally. All right, so let me go over to here. So now that we're in, we have to register for multi-factor authentication. Your organization requires multi-factor authentication. Select one of the following. Authenticate using a fingerprint scanner or camera to built into your computer, such as Apple Touch ID. I guess I'll go with this one for now. I don't know. Can I? Let's go with that one for now. And let's see. Sure. Okay. Normally I'd use the phone thing, but it is what it is. Oh, I got an email like 12 minutes ago to join the... All right, cool, whatever. Just file that now. All right, let's go. But why? I just signed in. Why do I have to sign in again? All right, let me go to full screen. All right, we are finally in, right? So, okay, so we're going to be using AWS App Studio, which is in preview mode. Let's click on that. Something we didn't look into earlier was the pricing of it. Do they have it here? So let's do this real quick. AWS App Studio pricing. Because let's say you didn't want to use this, right? You do want to understand how the pricing works for this, right? Because nothing's free. So there are two pricing dimensions based on how you use the service. The builder is free. You can access the App Studio visual building environment to create, test, and manage apps for free. Published applications, so that means like once you say, yes, this is ready to use, is 25 cents per user per hour. You'll be charged on your consumption for the published app of 25 cents per user per hour. So if you have 5 users using your application and each of them use it for 5 hours, then that is going to be, we'll do 4. Let me make simple math, right? 4 users, is they use it for 4 hours. So it's going to be per user per hour is going to be 4. It's going to be 25 cents times 4, which is going to be $1. And they use it for 4 hours is going to be 1 times 4 is going to be $4 altogether, right? We offer a 60-day trial or 250-hour free user hours. So pricing example, month 1, the builder is 0, the free trial is 0, month 2, 0, 0, and then month 3. If you have app A with 3 users for 2 hours for 12 days, is going to be $18 for the month, right? So that's what I was saying to earlier, your car with the pricing is. Because it's like an internal app, so if you have 3 users internally using it for 2 hours, for 12 days, for whatever work they're doing, it's going to cost you $18. However, that $18 might be it's going to be a lot cheaper than if you had to bring somebody in externally to build this for you and stuff like that, right? Let's see. This is another example. App A is 5 users for 1 hour for 10 days, at 25 cents an hour, plus app B for 5 users, 2 hours at 10 days is going to be $37.50. All right. So just wanted to highlight that real quick. All right. Where are we? App Studio. Not that one. No, we got that one. All right. So let's go into here. Do I have to sign? Oh my God. How much time do I have to freaking sign in? All right, we are in App Studio, and we might have to go to we might have to do another show on this because we are in here now. We are in here. Let's see. So there's creating connectors. Not sure what the connectors are. All applications. Let's say create app. Let me see. Aurora connector. Build your first app. There's a video on building your first app, which you can probably look at that. Let me see. Let's see how long this video is. 34 minutes. What? All right. Might have to watch that on my own. But watch the tutorial to help you build an app end to end. Maybe I'll watch that over the weekend and then we will implement that next week. But let's look around. Let's see. All applications, Builder Hub, My Applications. Let's see. Let's click around and see what's going on. Create connectors. So if you want to connect to Amazon database, other AWS services, S3, Open API connector. Probably can use that to connect to a Mongo database, probably. All right, let's go back to admin. Say we go to create app. Let's see, generate an app with AI. Let's start with that, right? Let's go with create. All right, let's call it. So I did get an idea. So your car and I were talking earlier about what kind of app we would build. And then I was also watching another video that your car sent me. And I thought about this, right? I thought about this give me a second here. Let me see if I can find out the position, right? Let me see. Where is this? So what was this called? Let me see. Where did I find this thing? Let's see. I can't find it. It was a pretty good title. But pretty much, what if you work in collections, right? What if you work in collections and you want to track the amount of collection calls that you make, debt collector, and you want to track and the result of that call, whether they had paid the money, they hung up on you, or they put on a PIP, a payment improvement plan, not a performance, but a payment improvement plan, right? So let's say we're going to call this debt, or is it TCR, debt collection live stream. All right. And we're going to say generate with an app with AI. Let's see how easy this is, right? Select connector. I guess we'll go with this one. I don't have any connectors. I don't have any tables either. So this is the first part that's going to be tricky, because you're going to need a data source, and we don't have any data sources yet. So maybe we're going to have to go and create a FCCA connector, a loan shark. So this is the first thing, right? We're going to need a data source. So someone who's going into this, where do you get your data from? Right? So skip. Oh, we can skip. Let's skip. Right? So setting up our session. Let's see. The gears are moving. Oh, there's some sample projects. They have some sample projects in here. Let's see what we got in here. Claims management system, IT, asset inventory tracker. All right, let's go with this, right? So, let's see. So, I work in collections. I need a way to track the calls that I make and categorize the results of those calls. I want to log the time that I make those calls. Usually, the person, I work in debt collection. Usually the person that owes us money hangs up on me, but rarely they pay up. Sometimes they ask to be put on a payment improvement plan. All right? So, let's see what happens. We're going to go for it. Right? We're going all in. We're going all in. Let's see what happens. So, So far, it says analyzing your prompt and don't refresh the page. Your app requirements are ready for review. Generating app overview from requirements. Please wait. All right. So requirements. As a debt collector, I need to be able to log. I was reading that. All right. So let's go. Log all calls made to debtors, including date, time, debtor information, and outcome. Categorize call outcome, paid, hung up, payment plan, etc. Record payment plan details if a plan was negotiated. View a list of all log calls with filtering and sorting capabilities. Update existing call logs if needed. User flow. User navigates to the call log. User clicks on add new call button. User enters the debtor information. User selects call outcome from a dropdown. Paid, hung up, payment plan. If the outcome is a payment plan, user enters the payment plan details. User clicks save the call, to log the call. The call log table displays all calls with columns for data information. Yada yada. User can filter the table by outcome, date range, etc. User can click on a call entry to view full details.
Lunch break.
It's just getting so good. Right. Or you know what? We're gonna finish this reading this and then we'll see what happens, right? So user can filter the table by outcome. User can click on a call entry to view details or update the call log, right? Data sources. So the table would be ID, debtor name, account name, or account number, call date, outcome is an enum, pay. So the three options that we have. Payment plan amount, a decimal for numbers. Payment plan frequency is going to be a string. Might be a string. I guess it would be a string. And the payment plan start date. That's pretty cool. All right, that's pretty cool. Your car, what do you think? Mitch, what do you think? Ferris, what do you think about this? Right? Just app. What do you think about this? This is pretty cool. So the app overview. App summary, the debt collection app is a web-based application designed to manage and track call logs related to the debt collection activities. The app allows users to view, add, and update call logs. All right, so we read that, key features, usage. All right, cool. Here's the thing, right? I am tempted to say we're going to end the stream right here, but I can't do that to myself. I want to know what happens if I click on generate app. So I'm going to click generate app, right? Let's see what happens. Generate app. It says your app is ready. Your app is ready. Let's watch this real quick. Let's watch this.
Welcome to AWS App Studio, a new generative AI-powered service to build mission-critical apps on AWS. Within App Studio, you'll find three core sections: pages, automations, and data, which serve as the foundational building blocks for creating your app. To model your app's data, you'll create entities representing different data types and add fields that describe the data. Next, build visual pages, the UI front end of your app, such as admin panels, dashboards, and forms. Choose from a variety of pre-built components for the perfect user experience. Then, create intelligent automations, rules, workflows, and actions that define your app's business logic. Finally, preview your app to test it, and once ready, publish it with just a click of a button. With AI assistance, building powerful apps is easy. Explore App Studio today to unlock new possibilities for your organization.
All right, we are going to preview the app because I wrote like 2 sentences and it came up with a bunch of requirements and a bunch of like the use cases and all that, right? Let's preview the app. Let's preview. If this is the first time opening or reopening your app, all right, we didn't read see that. So we have the call table, call log table, the ID, the debtor ID, the call date, outcome, payment plan, monthly, biweekly, payment start date. The outcome, the C2 must be hanging up on you. Let me see, view. I don't know what C2 is. What is that outcome? So let's go to add a log, and I'm gonna say ID, debtor ID. What is the ID for the call? Why would I shouldn't have? This should be auto assigned. I'll say that, right? But let's say, so this should be auto assign, but that can be configured. Let's see, debtor ID. I was supposed to be able to put their name in there though. I don't want to go by the ID. Call date. I would also want this to be like pre-filled in. And all right, so let's go with this, right? I'm just gonna put Mitch got my money. And call date is gonna be, let's go with 2024 07/11. And output ID, Mitch hung up on me. G2, what is something like that? Payment plan 0. 0. Oh, so this one has the date on there. Why didn't that one have the date on there? That's interesting. But that's stuff we can configure. Like we can probably figure that out with a GUI. But let's say I don't know, whatever. And if we submit, go back to the call log. What? You see that? You see that? Now there's some stuff that we can do to this to make it a lot better. But I like the fact that we already have like we're able to do this already, So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna continue. We're gonna pick up on this next week. Because this is really cool. I'm kind of impressed by this, I must say. All right. But we're gonna see how we can get this UI to be a little bit better, so that we don't I want to see the name of the person. I can't do nothing with their ID. Maybe we need something to have to add a user to the database instead of just a call log, right? But this is something. So, anyways, let's go back to full screen. So, yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? I'm gonna it's late. I'm gonna save the Dell article for Sunday. Maybe Saturday. I don't know. Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. But I'm gonna go through the chat. Let me know what you guys think about what we just did. We were able to build a basic B app, nothing too crazy, So let's see what we got. All right, let's go through the chat and then we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. All right. So. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's start off from where were we? We're here, right? So, a lot of comments here. All right, let's see where we got. So we are here to. All right, so let's start off over here, right? So, oh my goodness, this is funny. This is a lot. All right, I miss a lot. So all right, we have Ferris stalking people, and Mitch said, "I bet you did." And your car says, "That's called stalking." Maybe. It's called doing recognizance. So the question is how, the question is how you know who she was the instant the video was on. Hey, this is about you right now, first. This is about you. And and your car is like, gangs of love started making threats and got dog. Real, it was like within like 30 seconds, I'm like, okay, I know everything about this guy already. I was like, this is crazy. But hey, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Let's see. Mitch says that he probably slid into DMs, says, "Hi, my name is Ferris." I'm pretty sure that's what happened, right? Let's see. I'm a Gen Z. What about you, Cricket? You guys are too funny. All right. You noticed that too? I didn't want to say anything, but he did get a fresh cut, right? He had a fresh cut. Mm-hmm. Yep. And versus not gonna lie, that guy can find any location from a picture. Is too powerful. I need to lock in and get that GeoGuessr skill set. Yo, we play GeoGuessr at work. Like when we have our when we hang out. And I am so bad at GeoGuessr. Like some people, they just know, like they're so good at it. I don't, if it ain't in Broward County, I don't know where it's at. If it's Miami, I might know Miami too. I'll know Miami too. But if it ain't Broward or Miami, I don't know where we at. Right? Let's see what we got. It says the MailChimp, the same pay scheme. I never used MailChimp before, and so. First is so many AWS products. So what's the difference between this and Docker? I'm not really seeing the correlation between the AWS products and the difference between what and Docker? Between the AWS App Studio and Docker? Let's see. So your car says that AWS is trying to create their own ecosystem. I think they already have their own ecosystem, to be honest with you. And it says, so they are the Apple of the cloud. Don't get Mitch started on Apple, right? I don't know if I would say they're probably in name recognition, yeah, but in market share, I would say they're probably the Google of the cloud, because Google has way more devices out there, like mobile devices, like even Windows has way more computers out there than Apple computers. So I wouldn't say they're the Apple of the cloud. They're probably both. They probably have the best of both worlds. It says, so is this easier than Docker or better from? I don't see the correlation to Docker. That's the problem, because Docker is just a container management application. You still have to do your whole development on your own when it comes to Docker. So I'm not. I think it's two different things, right? So let's see. And Mitch says a collector. Let's see. The collection shark. Oh my goodness. And Ferris had a random question to your car that I am not qualified to answer, but something about network segmentation. Let's see. And Ferris says, no way that Tech Coach Ralph's put the loan customer on a payment improvement plan. It could be consistent income, who knows? And let's see, they also need to follow the FDCPA, which they don't. Let's see. So Ferris says, wait, this is building apps from prompts for damn near free. We are cooked.
Thank you for your patronage.
But it's only apps to a certain extent, right? It's going to be internal apps for your internal users. So pretty much you see it like this, right? Which they might be able to expand later on in the future. But what we did so far, which what it produced, we still have some work to do on it. But let's say you say in your organization, I have 10 users, right? 5 of those, and so when we're creating the accounts, then those users would be able to log into it, use it for a couple of hours or however long they need, and then you're going to get charged based on that use that they're doing it for. So I see it as a solution for rectifying internal applications, but not necessarily for the application that your company is producing. A lot of times, like I was saying earlier, companies would rather pay for an application because it costs them more to maintain and build their own internal applications, because they're not really making money off those internal applications, right? So the same thing like purchasing CI/CD tools so that they don't have to build it and maintain it themselves in-house, right? So let's see. Mitch says, did Mitch just give compliments to AI? Did Mitch? What? not bad, but you know my feelings on that. And you know, if Mitch says it's not bad, you know that means it's great.
Bruh.
You know? Let's see. It says, don't do it. And it says, that's crazy. And Just M says, I'm peeping. And your car is answering some complex hardware question for Ferris. So we're going to skip that. We're going to skip that. And Just M says, she. Your car, back me up on this. When you sent that to me and I read the article, I put the same exact GIF from The Wire on there. It says, well, it has good software that helps too. Let's see where else we're looking at. Let's see. You're not broke, Ferris. Ferris is trying to act broke, but we know he's not broke. We know he's not broke. Come on. It's basically a computer. What kind of computer is you buying? Let's see. What else we got? It's a server, Ferris. It's a server. And Junior says, I'm just amazed and soaking up the information for the future. So just think about, like, Junior, with what you're saying, it's absolutely amazing. Because just think about this. If you need a app or some type of application to manage whatever business ventures you're doing, you can build something internally to help you manage whatever it is that you manage. Like it's going to build some type of database for you or something like that, right? You don't have to become, like, if you're going to become a software engineer or something like that, to build build a platform or something like that. But to manage your own internal stuff, like you can have this build your client management system. You know what I mean? So this is promising. This is promising. And how long will you like? And if let's say let's say you have a family business, right? And you're trying to manage like your inventory or your clients or something like that, or maybe like your content creation, whatever. And you build some type of little database. It's maybe you and your wife, or you have your kid working on it with you. How many hours are you gonna actually be like logged in working on this stuff? So it's not gonna cost you that much, you know? So it's actually pretty promising. I'm pretty amazed by this, right? I'm pretty amazed. Let's see. Let's see. Mitch says Brickle is where it is at. And Ferris says App Studio and Docker. To me, the two, I don't see any correlation with them yet. Docker isn't used to build, take that back. Docker is used to build applications, but it's just the container that the application is going to be running on. App Studio is actually building an application for you through generative AI. So yeah, I don't see the correlation between the two. Let's see. Let's see where are we at. Cool. Let's see. All right, cool. I think that's it. I think that is it for today. You guys know how it is. You guys know how it is. The question of the night, of course, because this has been a remarkable show. You know what? Before we end it, I have to say a big shout out to your car for sending this to me, because I was gonna go a different direction tonight, but I even had the stream scheduled. But then I read this. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is something that we can do tonight. So shout out to your car. Shout out to your car as always, right? And let me see what Junior says. Junior says, it definitely is giving me great ideas for the future, seeing the possibilities that I didn't know before. Well, guess what, Junior? Guess what? As of about 3 weeks ago, this wasn't even ready yet. You know what I mean? Wait, is it? Wait, give me a second. When was this come out? As of yesterday. I'm sorry. I was thinking this was June. It's only July 11th. This became ready yesterday. So we are the first. So you know what? Shout out to your car again. Because we're the first. And we actually did something with it that people can see. And now I'm going to actually have to clip up this show, this last segment, so that we can put it out there. We can have the first video on YouTube actually showing how AWS App Studio is used, how we built an app or a preview of an app in 20 minutes. Cool. All right. So, and Mitch said, can I get the spotlight? You know what, Mitch? Yes, you can. Shout out to Mitch. He is for the people. Who are your people? And Mitch says, yo, people too.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
All right. So, that being said, the question is the question of the night. As always, I mean, I already know the answer to this one. I know the answer to this one already, but
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I am very, very much entertained. It was great. So much fun. We did amazing work tonight. I'm so happy. I actually look forward to picking up on this again next week. I'm speechless. I am speechless. But it's time to go. You guys know, I can't play It's Checkout Time. But it's checkout time. Mitch asks, do you believe in Google? Believe in them in what sense? Like as in their Google Cloud platform, or the company's gonna like be around? Like, what do you mean by believing them? But whatever the answer is, whatever the question is, the answer is gonna be yes. I do believe in Google. They are super, super powerful, but they work in the background a lot. But like their search engine, no one compares to that, right? Their was the Google Cloud platform. It's really good for data. They optimize it for data, things like that. So I do like Google has like so many things that is not talked about on a regular basis, but it powers a lot of things. So yeah, I told you, I believe in Google. I believe in Microsoft. I believe in Amazon. Yeah, I believe in they all do something, but they don't really they are competing, but they don't really step on each other's toes that much because, for instance, Microsoft, the government loves Microsoft. They have Windows computers. They use Microsoft Azure, the Active Directory and all that stuff, right? So you're always going to have Microsoft being good. AWS, it's more for like hosting private companies and all that good stuff. So you're always going to have that. And then with Amazon, that's just a small, I mean, it's not small, but it's just a part of everything else that Amazon does. Then we have Google with the search engine, with like the Android, their App Store, their like all their APIs for integrating with the maps, because Google Maps is the best, right? How they have their Google Sheets, the Google Docs, things like that, and how you can integrate with that. So many different things you can do with it. So I think that it's they offer things that the other companies don't offer. So that's what I like. Let's see. And Ferris says, I guess I thought App Studio also hosts and containerizes, didn't realize it builds from scratch until you... Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, I don't think App Studio... I think they have to build it in order to host it and containerize it. And it's only going to be available to those particular people. The Docker stuff is what's going to enable you to host it anywhere and make it available to pretty much everybody. So gotcha. Let's see what else we got. And your car says great show. Shout out to your car. And Mitch says doesn't like Google Sheets. Let's see. Anything else? I think we're good. All right, we are good. We're gonna wrap it up here today. Thank you guys so much. You guys know yesterday's price is not today's price, especially with App Studio. App Studio might make you guys have to run back to the office because it is hard out here for when you gotta pay the money for the rent. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is not tomorrow's price because
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
the price of the brick is going up. And on that note, we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
You should know your role and shut your mouth!